Hello guys from Plant Reviews, today 5th of July, and I'll talk now about one of my favorite ground covers plant, that is Pratia pedunculata, County Park. I found sometimes called Lobelia pedunculata. This is a plant that comes from Australia, even if I found that according to some authors there's actually two different species are traded as Pratia pedunculata, and one comes from Australia and one from New Zealand. However, living in the UK, I have to say that the variety traded as Pratia pedunculata County Park is an absolutely great ground cover plant in my opinion, and I use it as a cover for a pot of Viburnum, Barcudi and Russell. I like to have ground covers in my pot because they offer a nice green mat, especially to viburnums, because usually viburnums are plants that tend to become a bit leggy, and they leave a lot of basically bare ground near the roots. So I like to embellish the pots with some spring flowering bulbs that give some color in spring, and this Pratia does a great job in ensuring a nice green mat of leaves on the top of the soil, and it's showing also its beautiful sky blue flowers. Pratia pedunculata is a member of the family Campanulaceae, and it is commonly known as matted Pratia or trailing Pratia, but also as a blue star creeper. Indeed, the little flowers are about 1 centimeter, so 1.5 centimeters in diameters. They are a very pale blue, very pale sky blue, and they're absolutely gorgeous. They're tiny, but I like them because they are produced in masses throughout summer, in particular between June, July and August. In the UK, I found, at least in my conditions in Kent, in the UK, this plant is very green. However, some authors report that in some areas with very cold winters, the plant can actually disappear due to the cold, or actually can die if the cold is too hard. This plant is hardy down to minus 12 degrees Celsius degrees, sorry, and so it is actually hardy in most of the UK. However, obviously if you live in the northern areas of Scotland, or however in very cold areas in the central part of Europe or North America or Asia, for example, might not be suitable for your conditions. I found this plant is great in partial shade or light shade, as in my case it produces lots of flowers in these conditions, and also if it's in light shade or partial shade, this ensures that the soil moisture remains pretty constant rather than being in full sun, and a good moisture is very important, I found, for this plant. Indeed, some authors, some gardeners I've read about online report that indeed in very hot summers this plant useful as a ground cover can become very patchy and also disappear from the ground. So basically the really useful habit of as a ground cover is not really performed anymore, and you have just bare patches of soil around. Many people like to use it as a ground cover in the garden as well. However, as you can see, in my garden I have so many plants that I really don't need much ground cover, because the plants are so many that are basically climbing on each other, and the Pratia in these conditions would just run out of light and die. So I really believe that the best, well, in my conditions, the really suitable conditions is indeed as a ground cover for pots. For example, if you have spring bulbs, as in my case, or early spring blooming shrubs like my viburnum, it is a great to combine with this kind of plants, because it ensures summer interest because of the cover in nice mat of leaves and flowers during summer. The leaves are pretty tiny. They're about they're less than 1 centimeters in length, pretty rounded, and the plant basically is a prostrate creeper, as you can see. Tends sometimes to overhang out of the pot, but I have to say that it behaves pretty well in a pot. Again, I've read online that instead in the soil, if you cultivate obviously in the soil in the garden, sometimes it can spread so much with stolons and through underground stolons that can actually reach new plants can basically start raising meters away from the place where you originally plant the Pratia pedunculata, and so it can become a bit invasive. I can't tell anything about that because, as you know, as I said, I cultivated this in a pot, but in a pot, in my opinion, is absolutely brilliant. The flowers, unfortunately, are not fragrant, but the color is very nice, and as I said, even if they are small, they are born in a profusion of flowers. Then it's really nice. They can is a very nice green moth with these starry flowers that in dozens hang around the plant. Is a really beautiful beautiful sight to have in a pot. Hardiness, as I said, is hardy in USDA zone between 5 and 8, so until down to minus 12 degrees. The height of the plant is about 5 centimeters tall, and it can spread usually about 40-50 centimeters to start with, but can spread, as I said, much further from the original planting. So if you really are a very tidy gardener and not as messy as me, you might not like this plant to hang around in spread around areas that you didn't plan to have this plant in. Also, this plant, I found that in very hot climate can disappear as well, so ensure a good moisture of the place where you plant this when you plant the Pratia. But I have to say that in my conditions in the UK is an absolutely beautiful evergreen ground cover, and its sky blue flowers are really a nice sight in summer. I think I do not forget anything, hopefully. If you enjoyed my video, it would be great if you can give a thumbs up, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel, it would be great. In this case also you'll get periodical updates when I post a new video. I try to post a new video at least every other day. Sometimes I am able to do every day for 5-6 days of the week. Sometimes I post more than one video a day, and obviously if you didn't like the video, please give it a thumbs down, and I would like obviously to know what you didn't like of the video, and obviously I will try my best to improve my next videos according to your suggestions. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.